so pretty in here, inside the zucchini. This cool thing's going on with the fairy tale pumpkin where it's run its way over to the sunflower circle and is starting to trellis itself up along with some natural weeds, which I'm not, or some native weeds to my garden. I'm not really sure what kind of weeds they are, but what they're called. They grow everywhere and they have a pretty cool growth pattern, and they make these pretty flowers, so I don't mind them too much. Except for when they find their way into the veggies and the lettuces, then of course I take them out, but this is one of the areas where I let Mother Nature do her thing. This little eggplant sure seems to be flowering a lot. I hope I get as many eggplants as I have flowers. That would be nice. And with each day, now that we're officially in summer, this harvest is getting bigger and bigger. Got lots of lettuce and kale, collards. The biggest onion I've harvested so far. And also there's a nice, pretty nice size, getting better, nice size zucchini in here. And just couldn't help myself again. One more little green tomato. We're getting there, but you know, dice them up green and fry them. They're still pretty good. I only have 2 tomatillos growing this year, I think. But they're both rocking it. Lots of flowers. Hopefully I get lots of fruit. And the ground cherries over there are just exploding. I'll have to go over there, get a quick look. But yeah, these ground cherries, this was 6 plants, and I didn't think they were planted too close together, but they're really going off. Exciting. Oh, looks like we got a fruit coming on. The ground cherries, that's cool. They're like baby tomatillos. That's how I've heard them explained. This is actually a big experiment for me. I haven't grown them before, and to the best of my recollection, I haven't eaten them before. But I've heard that they're basically to the tomatillo as a cherry tomato is to a regular tomato. So just, you know, smaller. And I believe more sweet, from what I've heard. I'll let you know. Wow, delphinium is so beautiful. These happy little dudes. So here I am at the Grange Co-op. Officially 7 days past my due date. Due dates are so annoying. They shouldn't even give you a due date. They should just not even give you a due date, but I guess they do it for a reason. So I'm just doing the things that make me happy, like snuggling with flowers, being a weirdo in public. But I did actually come here for one specific reason, and that is to get myself a new garden hat for something to look forward to wearing, or who knows, maybe I'll be wearing it for the next week and doing 7 more days of garden projects. Stay tuned to find out. Thought for sure there'd be a lot more options here at the Grange. And I really can't be taken too long because I have an appointment. Get the baby looked at. This one's cute, but I have a huge head, so I don't know if it'll work out. This one fits better. Honestly hoping something with more frills. But one is better than none. Might be this one. We'll see. So I thought I might not be able to get out of there without getting one of those delphiniums. But I got to talking about chickens with one of the people that work there. And now I might be late for my appointment, so I gotta go. So they admitted me to labor and delivery, and I have no idea if I'm gonna end up putting this in the video. It's pretty personal. Probably TMI. But yeah, I went for my non-stress test and ultrasound, and everything registered mostly normal, except for that my baby has his cord wrapped around his neck twice, which is not that uncommon apparently. However, my OB did not feel comfortable having me be released without continuous fetal monitoring, and his heart rate looks good, but we're just closely watching it, and we've begun some inductions, and so that's what my 41 weeks looks like. I was very stuck on having I called it a warrior goddess birth my first time, and I had everything planned out, and by 11 p.m. I was going to be walking around outside doing yoga, and I was going to be listening to this song, and I was going to be doing this, and blah blah blah, and then I was going to have a water birth at midnight or whatever, and I ended up being transferred to this hospital, I think even the same room, and having Pitocin and having an epidural, and it was a very humbling experience. So I'm about to get up and walk around again, which thankfully I can do with this monitor. I have a little electronic purse I can carry around and walk around the labor and delivery room floor. I will spare you all the very graphic details of how this sweet big baby came into the world, but I'll just say that about 24 hours after we began inductions, little Mr. Brewer was born. 9 pounds, 8.9 ounces, so all 9.5 pounds of him were born. And yeah, it was quite the experience. There really are no words to adequately explain what giving birth is like. So he was born healthy and safe, without any complications, and without any pain meds for me, with the exception of laughing gas, which isn't a pain med, but definitely took the edge off, which was what I asked for. But we did it. I'm so grateful. This is my first time alone in the garden in a long time. And it's just as I was hoping it'd be. I see my first bloom on a sunflower. I see cherry tomatoes. Tons of cherry tomatoes, not yet ripe, but ooh! And the soaker hose has been going on for a little while, so I have a puddle there. Ah, I'm one happy mama. Leaving these zucchinis alone for a couple days. Definitely got some bigger ones. Getting bigger. Oh yeah, some much bigger ones. Beautiful. If anyone watching this happens to follow me on Instagram, they'll know that I did some experimental lasagna style gardening beds. And I just want to do a little bit of an update on how it's doing. So this is the new addition to the front side street garden, as I like to call it. And mostly what I have growing in here are pumpkins, Cinderella pumpkins, and there's some spaghetti squash and also some watermelon. And things are doing pretty good. It does an alright job about weed suppression. There's some coming through, but it's not a big deal. They come up pretty easy. Yeah, we just hit this with the sprinkler every couple days. And things are looking happy. There's a little sunflower. And then I also wanted to do a couple cuttings because these zinnias are coming up, and the more you cut them back, the more flowers you get. So taking some time to make a little bouquet. And then these sunflowers are doing awesome. But yeah, they're about to open up. They're huge. I also separated some of these cosmos that were very densely coming up, but they're still super dense, but they're looking good, and they're about to bloom soon. All in all, I think that taking over your lawn with wood chips and flowers and pumpkins and other squash is a great idea. So I'm not going for any particular aesthetic technique other than fresh flowers. Hey everyone. It's one of those rare moments where all three boys are sleeping, and I'm stealing a second to do a little update. Also, I need to turn off the water because it's been on a little bit too long. I'm somewhere right in the middle of sleep deprivation and motherly bliss. I'm happy. And the garden is rockin'. The sunflower circle is just like, really makes me happy. I'll get some close-ups of the blooms in a second, but I was able to get a snapshot of the whole family in there today, and I've been looking forward to that for a long time. Just want to do a little run through, show you what's going on. So we have blooms emerging. And these are all like way taller than me already. We had a sunflower just totally collapse right onto one of these cherry tomatoes, so I just pulled the cherry tomato over the top of it, and it still looks like it's still growing, doing its thing. And I think that I see the first little starts of eggplant, which is exciting. Very exciting. And the zucchini's doing great. Fairy tale pumpkin, still the prettiest plant in the garden, in my opinion. It's starting to trail up it's gonna climb up those sunflowers, and it's making its way, oh, a dragonfly, over there. And surprise, this fig tree that I planted a couple years ago that's been totally neglected and was weed whacked several times, is still alive. So I'm gonna have to give that some TLC, and hopefully it'll do well. Gotta keep this short to keep everybody happy. Let's see, more strawberries are ripening. Things need to be weeded. These dahlias, any moment, I mean, I don't know, maybe a week, but it's starting to show some color right through there, which is exciting. And these ground cherries are just taking over. The raspberries I have not watered one time since I planted them, and they look really happy. Actually, it's starting to look like it's just about time for me to water them. And then this, mystery squash must be, I'm thinking it's a pumpkin, which is cool. It's taking over the corn, but again, I'm hoping the corn just grows tall and deals with it. And the spaghetti squash is doing well. But yeah, look at this. It must be a pumpkin. I don't know, but it's cool. All right, things are happy in the garden, happy at home. Baby Brewer is 1 week old today, and this is his first little garden harvest. And Archer's sleeping, Brewer's sleeping too. I'm not sleeping, but I should be sleeping. But I wanted to take the opportunity to see if there's anything ready to harvest, because I have a feeling that those ground cherries might be ready, and I just wanted to take a moment to sit and reflect on this last week. It's been, early motherhood is a trip. Lots more tomatoes in this tomato jungle by the teepee trellis. I have not ever pruned tomatoes, and I really want to start doing that because, I don't know, maybe it's not necessary. I'm getting a lot of fruit. They don't seem to be having a problem. But we'll see. I'll just have to do some experiments, trial and error. This butterleaf lettuce is insane. It obviously is going to seed. I don't really mind so much when stuff goes to seed. I think it's kind of cool to watch the flowers. And my kale are starting to look more like little kale palm trees, which is cool. And these lettuces, you let them go for like a week in the heat and don't harvest, and then they just go to flower. My little tatsoi has gone to flower also, but I plan to save seed from everything, so it's all right. and I haven't had the opportunity to weed for a while, so I think people call it quack grass, is really taking over wherever it can. And I have some bug damage, but I just sort of leave those ones and harvest the ones that don't look damaged. I made a really yummy little zucchini, just like shredded it up with the shredder and put olive oil and some turmeric, some Korean spice, and then I topped off all my little basil plants and threw in, what else did I put in there? Some of those microgreens and some mustard greens from that bed I just showed over there, and some salt, and it was delicious. Felt very refreshing. And I'm not growing cantaloupe this year, and I feel dumb for not growing cantaloupe because it's like one of the absolute tastes of summer to me, and I'd love to be able to harvest some of my own. So in here, obviously, I have some more zucchini, and there's some cucumber plants that they're not really, I guess this one's doing okay. This one over here I actually bought as a start, and it's just not doing anything. But the ones that I planted from seed are doing okay, so that's cool. And then I think we'll probably get another harvest of some strawberries. We had a really big flush, probably like at least 2 or 3 pounds of strawberries came out of this bed already, and I don't know how much more we'll get, but I see more flowers, so dahlias are still waiting to pop. But looks like more and more color each day. So I just have a feeling there might be a couple ripe ones, but you know, I guess the skin is supposed to be hard, become kind of papery. So it looks like it's still early yet. I was hoping I would get some ground cherries, but no, I think I still have a ways to go. I just can't believe this pumpkin plant. I'm calling it a pumpkin plant now because that looks like a pumpkin. First I thought they were yellow winter squash, but it's definitely looking like I have a giant pumpkin patch, and it's so incredible to think that this is one plant, one little seed. It's taking over this whole space. Okay, I look like I need some sleep. So I'm gonna go do that. Me and little baby Brewer are signing off here. Thanks for joining me on this week-long epic saga of gardening and giving birth and garden tours and blooming sunflower circles. I plan to continue to make more videos as the summer progresses, and I think this will be the last little segment on this week-long video, and then I'll probably go back to doing more short and focused projects. So yeah, thanks for witnessing